Yeah, I have it. I just like it.
He said he didn't.
Give me Patty's. She's calling in. Oh, yeah. This was July the 18th. Oh, this is the old one.
Is that why I have a meeting?
No, this was for the July the 18th. Yes.
Was there any changes? Hey, was there any changes to here? There was some changes, that's why I have a meeting.
Yeah, it was, I see that they trustee Shelby had been, well, I had excluded.
I saw one too, but it was so small, I was just like, it's just on the time. Yeah. I didn't, this is like, that's like ridiculous. 2 minutes. My day has been like this.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy. Oh, is everything okay?
A mailbox belonging to.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to call our regular board meeting to order at 7:32. Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Trustee Abraham is absent. Trustee Chamalave, currently absent. Trustee Senior,
Here.
Mayor Thompson,
Here.
Trustee Shelby,
Here.
Trustee Armour,
Here.
Trustee Miller is absent. Mayor, I believe Trustee Chamalave, due to work, wanted to call in. Did we try her?
She didn't answer, but we'll try her back after we do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Very good, thank you. So at this point, Mayor, you have a quorum.
Okay.
Can we all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we all please pause for a moment of silence? Thank you. Next item 2, public comment.
Hold on 1 second, Mr. Clerk. Let me try trustee again.
Thank you.
A mailbox belonging to.
Okay, we can go ahead.
Okay, so we're on item 2, public comment.
Verena Horn.
Good evening, everybody. Mayor Thompson, residents, legislators, counselor. I am Verena Horn. My comment tonight is for the legislators. Soon, we're going to have a operational cultivation center in our village. I would like for the legislators to consider brainstorming with our counselors about new legislation that will govern how these businesses are going to function within our community. Perhaps we can consider how they or when they open and close. perhaps we can consider holding the owners accountable for displaying within their facilities the difference between medicinal marijuana and recreational marijuana, because there is a difference. And it would be helpful if the people that patronize the facilities know the difference so that they can make an informed decision before they use the products. You know, if you engage more often with the counselors, they will advise you on how to create the legislation. You know, you can sit here and you can actually talk to them, and they will tell you what to do when it comes time to create legislation. They will give you advice on how to create the legislation and how to actually hold the committee meetings. And they will help you understand the legislation even when it's presented to you today and when it's on the agenda. So you don't have to sit here and not know what to do, and they don't have to sit here and wait for you to ask them or to not say anything. You can actually engage them in conversation and get the information that you need so that you can create legislation, legislators. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Horn.
Excuse me, Mayor, please let the record reflect trustee Miller arrived to the meeting at 7:35 PM. Thank you.
I'm gonna mess this name up. Beretta Hasagawa.
Good evening, everyone. I have two concerns.
Good evening.
Good evening.
One is the tree problem we have in Broadview. A lot of trees need to come down. They're dying or half dead. Some of them are, the branches are going to hurt somebody. If those trees fall on a house, especially the ones on the causeway, y'all going to be responsible because y'all tell the residents we can't touch the trees, that they belong to the village. But I don't see anybody from Works coming to trim trees. It used to be that way. I've been here 42 years. But I know that is a main concern because you're endangering people now. The second thing I want to talk about is these streets. Why haven't they been paved? Because y'all had a sign out there with a map showing when each street was going to be paved. It's gone. But ours was supposed to have been done 4 years ago. You ride down some of these streets and you might bust your axle, especially on the 11th. That street's terrible. But why isn't these things being addressed? That's maintenance, is what I want to know.
Does that conclude your public comment?
Yes.
Thank you.
So y'all don't answer?
I answer all public comments after the board meeting, so you're more than welcome to stay.
Okay. And we got $1 million, so we can do it, can't we?
Next, Claudia Alejo.
Good evening, Mayor Thompson, trustees, and Clerk McCure.
Good evening.
And good evening, residents of Broadview. My name is Claudia Ayala, and I am the 16th District Women's Issues Commissioner for Cook County under President Tony Pretwinkle and 16th District Cook County Commissioner Frank J. Aguilar. I want to thank Village Mayor Katrina Thompson for the invite to witness the hearing of the first Hispanic Heritage Proclamation in the Village of Broadview. The Village of Broadview has been a forward-thinking catalyst under the Broadview Strong Administration led by Mayor Thompson, Clerk McCure, and the village trustees with the visible embrace of the community. This proclamation is a testament to the leadership of the village and its governance, particularly in the 16th District of Cook County, of whom the Village of Broadview is a part of. Thank you for recognizing and serving every community member with the utmost respect and equity. And now, in the spirit of the proclamation, I will summarize my public comments and share a message in Spanish with the Spanish-speaking community of Broadview. Buenas noches. Mi nombre es Claudia Ayala, comisionada de Asuntos de la Mujer del Distrito 16 del Condado de Cook, bajo la presidenta Tony Pretwinkle, y el comisionador del Distrito 16 del Condado de Cook, Frank J. Aguilar. Gracias a la alcaldesa del municipio, Katrina Thompson, por su invitación al presentar la primera proclamación de la herencia hispana en el municipio de Broadview. La comunidad de Broadview ha sido un líder bajo la administración Broadview Fuerte, Broadview Strong, dirigida por la alcaldesa Thompson, el secretario McCreer y los representantes del municipio, con el apoyo visible de los miembros de su comunidad. Esta proclamación es un testimonio del liderazgo de esta comunidad y su gobierno, particularmente en el Distrito 16 del Condado de Cook, de cual forma parte de Broadview. Gracias por reconocer y servir a cada miembro con el mayor respeto y equidad. Es un orgullo poder leer este breve discurso en español y que las personas de herencia hispana que estén presentes o escuchando esta junta en su lenguaje estén asegurados que somos bienvenidos en esta comunidad y les aliento que participen y apoyen a quienes nos apoyan a nosotros y que continúen a ser parte de la fuerza de Broadview, Broadview Strong, Broadview Fuerte. Gracias. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Alea. Okay, Mr. Clerk, next on the agenda.
Thank you, Madam President. Next item is item 3, communications. I have one small communication before we move on. Next Safety Saturday is Saturday, October 8th, 10 a.m. right here at Village Hall. The topic of discussion, safely heating your home. Please join the building department and the fire department on how to heat your home safely. All right. Next, we have a service recognition for TCO Jennifer Santucci for 30 years of service.
Deputy Chief Smith and Director Reyes.
You mind if I read this? Okay, this is dated September 7th to the mayor from Deputy Chief Pierre Smith. Reporting Deputy Chief respectfully requests that telecommunicator Jennifer Santucci be recognized for her 30 years of service with the Village of Broadview. Jennifer Santucci was hired on May 1st, 1992 as a cadet dispatcher and has worked through many changes and challenges over the years to reach this accomplishment. Her dedication is truly appreciated. If approved, the recognition and presenting of a plaque can take place during village meeting, which it is. So please proceed.
Good evening. My name is Frank Reyes. I'm the director of the Ike Center. We're just here to present Jennifer Santucci with a plaque for 30 years of service. As Mr. McGreer advised, she's been here for 30 years. She started when she was 19 years old. I don't recall wanting to take on a job like this at 19 years old, let alone be at it as long as she has. So we're here to recognize her and award her with this plaque.
So I would like to go down the line. Trustee Miller, is there anything you want to say to telecommunicator to Santucci?
No, just thank you for your years of service. As he stated, I probably wouldn't have wanted to be in this field at 19 either, and you only look 22, so you did a good job.
Trustee Armour?
Thank you for your service to our village. That's a lot of time, that's a lifetime. And you deserve that reward. You're welcome.
Trustee Shelby?
Congratulations and thank you for your service.
Trustee Senior?
It's quite a milestone. Congratulations, 19 years, from the age of 19. That's an accomplishment. Thank you for your service.
So I would like to say, TCO Santucci, to get to a 30-year milestone in one organization is really unheard of these days. So I commend you for staying the course with us. Santucci is literally the firecracker in the telecommunication department, and she's very outspoken, and sometimes we need employees that's going to speak up for what's right. And sometimes we make mistakes when we speak up for what's right and along the way, but I commend you as being a leader over there, and she's just such a professional. I mean, I get the opportunity to visit them from time to time, and every time I go over there, she's on shift. And when calls come in, she's just so quick. I mean, you got to really be a quick thinker, quick responder. I mean, 911 is like emergency. and she responds in a professional manner. So I just want to say thank you on the behalf of the village of Broadview and all of our residents for taking care of us when we dial 911. And we expect you to pick up the phone and, handle the call in a very professional way. So thank you for 30 years of service. All right, thank you. You're welcome. Okay, Ms. Clerk.
Okay, thank you. Next is item B, the swearing in of Officer Guillermo Anaya for the Broadview Police Department. Can you join me up there, please? Raise your right hand, please. Test, test. All right, can you please repeat after me, please? I,
Guillermo Anaya,
having been appointed to the office of police officer
having been appointed to the office of police officer
in the village of Broadview, county of Cook, state of Illinois,
in the village of Broadview, county of Cook, in the state of Illinois,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the Broadview Police Department
of the Broadview Police Department
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations, sir.
I want to add while he's signing the official statement that he was not properly sworn in because we were under COVID restrictions. So this gives him opportunity. But DC, correct me if I'm wrong. He's on his own now, patrolling the streets and in a safe manner. And the only request that I have for all of our new officers or those that's been with us for some time, I always tell them, make sure you make it home at the end of your shift. So I still say that to you publicly. Make sure you make it home at the end of your shift. That's the only request that I have for you guys to do your job while you're out there. Oh, it's bad. Let me walk around.
Okay, thank you. Next, item 4, consideration to approve the following minutes. Minutes from the July 18th, 2022 regular board meeting.
Motion to approve.
A second.
It's been properly motioned by trustee Senior, seconded by trustee Armour. Madam
That
President.
wasn't
I'm sorry, trustee Shelby. Madam President.
Thank you. Trustee Senior, you have any questions or comments?
No question.
Trustee Shelby?
No question.
Trustee Armand?
I don't have any questions. There's just one correction on page 2 of the July 18th minutes. The trustee Miller arrived at the meeting at, the minute says 7:49, but that's not the right time. So that correction, if that could be corrected and given to the other trustees, that would be helpful.
What's the correct time?
7:47.
Thank you. Trustee Miller?
No questions.
All in favor, say aye with the
Aye.
corrections made. Thank you.
Any opposition? Hearing that, this passes 3-0. Thank you. Next, item 5, consideration to approve expenditures. Grand total of all funds, $1,015,818.26. This is for the September 7th bills.
We need a motion and a
Motion to
second.
approve.
A second.
It's been properly motioned by trustee Senior, Seconded by trustee Shelby. Please speak into the mic. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Trustee Shelby, Finance Chairwoman, will you please read the warrant list from September 7th, 2022?
Yes. Okay, the vendors are B&F Construction Code Services, $8,115. Baker Tilly US LLP, $3,842.50. Belson Outdoors LLC, $4,590.49. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois, $167,927.31. Broadview Westchester Joint Water Agency, $247,675.21. COPS Testing Service, $2,711.76. College of DuPage, $3,735.60. ComEd, $6,196.73. Cook County Department of Public Health, $3,000. Delgado Law Group LLC, $14,322.50. Door Systems, $28,046.96. Eco Clean Maintenance Incorporated, $2,504. Groot Incorporated, $4,775. H&H Electric Company, $22,522.39. Illinois Counties Risk Management Trust, $370,575.50. Lincoln National Life Insurance, $7,302.78. Nicor Gas, $3,169.63. Public Safety Direct Incorporated, $2,777.62. STP Transport, $6,275. Tesca Associates, Inc., $11,860. T&T Towing and Recovery, Inc., $6,950. Treasurer, State of Illinois, $35,550.15. And West Cook County Solid Waste Agency, $10,251.20. And the total expenditures over $2,500 is $974,677.33, which is 96% of all total expenditures in the amount of $1,015,818.26. But we had a manual payment, and the vendor is Illinois Brick Company. The date was August the 22nd, 2022, check number 83244, in the amount of $12,440.94. And the following funds were affected by these expenditures. We have the general fund in the amount of $726,810.82. The garbage fund in the amount of $15,026.20. We have the Roosevelt Road TIF Fund, $15,129.22. We have the Capital Project Fund in the amount of $243.75. And we have the Water and Sewage Fund in the amount of $258,608.27. Again, for a grand total of $1,015,818.26. Madam President, that concludes my report.
Thank you. Trustee Miller, you have any questions or comments?
No.
Trustee Armour?
No questions.
Trustee Shelby?
No questions.
Trustee Senior?
No question.
Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
We sure can, Madam President. Trustee Abraham is absent. Trustee Chavalave, absent. Trustee Senior?
No question. Yes, I'm sorry.
Thank you. Trustee Shelby?
Yes.
Trustee Armour?
Yes.
Trustee Miller?
Yes.
Madam President, this carries 4-0. Thank you. Next, grand total of all funds, $1,103,670.94 for the September 14th bills. Motion.
Motion to approve.
A second.
It's been properly motioned by trustee Senior, seconded by trustee Shelby, Madam President.
Thank you, trustee Shelby, Finance Chairwoman. Will you please read the warrant list?
Okay, this is the warrant list of September the 14th. The vendors are A Lamp Concrete Contractors Incorporated, $779,286.57. B&F Construction Code Services, $4,292.87. Black Hawk Venture LLC, $22,000. Is that Cobra Group? Ciobra Group. Ciobra?
I think.
Okay, sorry about that. That's $6,000. ComEd, $3,003.01. Comcast Business, $6,743.26. Geno's Heating and Geno's Heating and Plumbing Incorporated, $84,090.47. Core and Main LP, $6,200. Law Offices of Philip N. Fernaro, $14,778.30. Mid-American Water of Wakanda, $4,603.70. National Power Rodding Corporation, $3,000. Printing Arts, $3,616.02. South Central Capital Group LLC, $4,125. Triggy Construction, Inc., $124,897.50. West Central Municipal Conference, $10,164.26. The total of the expenditures over 2,500 was $1,076,896, which is 98% of all total expenditures in the amount of $1,103,670.94. We also had an electronic payment, and the vendor was Chase Credit Card payments reflecting as of August the 25th, 2022, in the amount of $20,664.02. And the following funds were affected by these expenditures. The general fund in the amount of $91,487.25. We have the garbage fund in the amount of $677.85. We have the CDBG fund in the amount of $124,897.50. The Roosevelt Road TIF Fund, $2,405. The Capital Project Fund, $6,000. The Water and Sewage Fund in the amount of $878,203.34, with a grand total again of $1,103,670.94. Madam President, that concludes my report.
Thank you, trustee. Trustee Miller, you have any questions or comments?
No.
Trustee Armor?
No, these warrant lists were very good. I balanced both of them, so I don't have any questions.
Thank you. Trustee Shelby?
No questions.
Trustee Senior?
No question.
Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Trustee Abraham and Shalba Lavi are absent. Trustee Senior,
Yes.
trustee Shelby,
Yes.
trustee Armor,
Yes.
trustee Miller.
Yes.
Thank you all. This carries 4-0, Mayor. Next item, 6, presentations. We have none. Item 7, village officer reports given at every second meeting of the month. First, we have the building department, Commissioner David Upshaw.
Good evening, Mayor, Board, residents.
Good evening.
Good evening.
The Village of Broadview Building Department report for the month of August has been placed on file in the mayor's office as well as the clerk's office. And at this time, if you have any questions, I'll entertain them.
Trustee Miller? You had any questions? or
No,
comments
no,
for
y'all
the-
throwing me off because like one time we go one way, the next time we go the next way. No questions.
Okay, Trustee Armor?
Well, I don't really have any questions. I think the commissioner is doing a great job. But, oh, wait, I do have one question. From July to August, I noticed that it's like half of, August is like half of July. And I was just curious. No one was purchasing any building permits or, just curious. Commissioner.
Those are fine.
So what, I'm not sure what your question is.
Commissioner.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure what your question.
Oh, I just noticed that the total amount for July is substantial, like 50%. It's over 50% more than August. I was just curious why such a big decrease in a month.
Well, in the month of, for those of us who live in Broadview and are familiar with the Village of Broadview, we have a lot of construction going on. And then for the month of July, we had quite a few businesses and properties that pull permits. And so that's why it's over $200,000. August is pretty much a typical month.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Trustee Shelby?
No questions. No.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Thank you, Commissioner Upshaw.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next is the Finance Department. Finance Director Tim Hicks.
Good evening, Mayor, trustees, citizens. The file,
Good evening.
financial report for August is on file. Are there any questions at this time?
Trustee Miller?
No questions.
Trustee Harmer?
No questions at this time.
Trustee Shelby?
No questions.
Trustee
No
Senior?
questions.
Thank you. So, Director Hicks, what I would like you to talk about the ARPA funds that we just got in, the second phase of it.
Yeah, so I believe we got a little over $500,000. And that's the funds that are available for each department. I think has been allocated that we're going to have specific projects that we've outlined for each department to take advantage of those funds. And those funds are governed by specific guidelines of what we can use them for. And each department came up with what would be applicable to their department to be able to utilize those funds. So we'll be able to leverage those funds in lieu of funds that we would have had to pull from our general fund. So that really is a windfall for the village of plugging not necessarily plugging a hole, but allow us to reallocate funds that we don't have to spend because we're getting the funds from the government to be able to do things that we probably wouldn't have had an opportunity to do outside of receiving these funds.
That's correct. Thank you. All right, Mr. Clerk.
Thank you. Next is the Fire Department, Chief Tracy Kinney.
Good evening, Mayor, trustees, and residents. Again, my report too is on file, but I just wanted to say our first Safety Saturday was a great success. The room was full. You'll be able to see the video on the village website sometime by the end of this week. Our next Safety Saturday, as we've already heard, is November 8th. And these are important things to attend as far as being in the village and knowing how to keep your home safe from fire, as well as many other issues, building department and such. October, did I say November? I knew it. October 8th. Thank you. That's it for me.
Trustee Miller?
No questions.
Trustee Armor?
No questions.
Trustee Shelby?
No questions.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
So Chief Kenny, before you leave, can you kind of elaborate on what sparked Safety Saturday once a month in collaboration with all departments, but it's
Spark's a good word.
how we came up with the Safety Saturday with all of the fires, the electrical fires. Can you kind of elaborate on that a little bit?
So you said sparked, that's the best way to put it. So we had multiple fires associated, and I say multiple because there were multiple fires associated with electrical misuse of electrical cords, as well as dryer fires. And we hit on those specific topics. And because they were happening around the same time, we put those together in our class. Each time we come up with a class, it's really something that's relevant to be concerned about and to keep your home safe. And bringing the building department in, how to upgrade things in your home so these things don't happen, how to pick good contractors, how to find people who can do things like clean your dryer vents out from the outside of the house. So it's an excellent collaboration between all the departments. As we get into the winter months, we're going to talk about, or we'll have a safety Saturday. It's going to discuss, putting lights outside of your house, how to keep the snow free and clear from your house. And again, all the departments are going to come together. So I really enjoyed doing it, and I think we're doing a good job together.
Thank you, Chief. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next is the Police Department, Deputy Chief Pierre Smith instead of Chief Thomas Mills.
Good evening, Mayor, Board of Trustees,
Good evening.
Mr. Clerk, and residents. The Police Department's file is also in the Mayor's office and at the Clerk's office. Are there any questions?
Trustee Miller?
I don't have any questions, but I'm going to email you guys to talk about some concerns. I just don't.
Do you have my email, Trustee?
Of course I do.
I look forward to hearing from you.
But no, I don't have any questions.
Thank you. Trustee Armour?
I really don't have any questions.
Trustee Shelby? No questions. Trustee
No
Senior?
questions.
Thank you, Deputy Chief.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank
Before we go to Public Works, I want to piggyback off of the fire department. It's an event that, we having a committee meeting. Trustee Miller, you want to talk about the committee meeting for the fire department? That's on, I think it's the 27th.
It is actually, we're still in process of pulling together I'm sorry. Can y'all hear me? Okay. I know I tend to talk low when I'm reading something, but I was called in about a discussion regarding us having CPR equipment so that our fire department can kind of still do paperwork and process our victims if something is going on. So I thought it was a good idea for us to bring it to the committee and to the actual village as a whole. So on September 27th at 6 p.m., right here in the village chambers, we will have a committee meeting discussing equipment for the fire department. And if all the residents that are interested can come out, we will announce it. Again, it'll go on our social media pages, and I'm big on social media, so I'll make sure I promote there as well. But just to come and hear what's going on in the fire department or with this new equipment that's going to be proposed to the village board, and I'll leave it at that.
And the agenda will be posted according to state statute in the lobby.
Absolutely.
That's for the clerk to
All right.
address.
Thanks, Trustee.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Public Works Department, Director Matthew Ames.
Good evening, Mayor, corporate authorities, and everyone in attendance.
Good evening.
I do have my August report on file. And briefly, Mayor, I'd like to, if nothing else, update the board as it relates to the storm cleanup cost. At the time we reported, it was at $55,000, and keeping track, we're right up at about $100,000 from the last storm cleanup. What we didn't know until recently was that the power outage knocked out about 40 light fixtures, so they will be replaced once we take delivery of them. It's obviously a lead time for the delivery of those fixtures. So, yeah.
Thank you. Trustee Miller, you have any questions or comments for Director?
No
Adams?
questions.
Trustee Armour?
I don't have any question about what he just said because I didn't really hear what he said, because a lot of times Director Ames actually talks, he's not facing the mic. And so it would be great to speak into the mic when you're talking. That helps. It helps a person that has some deficiency in their hearing. So.
Thank you. Trustee.
Noted.
Trustee Shelby?
No questions.
Thank you. Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Thank you. Thank you, Director Ames.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Next is the Administrative Department, Village Administrator Letisa Jones.
Good evening, Mayor, trustees, residents of Broadview.
Good evening.
My report as well is on, in the mayor's office, also the clerk's office. I'm open for questions.
Trustee Miller,
No questions.
trustee Armor,
No questions.
trustee Shelby,
No questions.
trustee Senior.
No questions.
Ms. Jones, can you let us know about the new hire that we hired in the administration cashier?
Yes, two new hires. One in the not Public Works. In the building department, we hired a part-time clerk. And then also in the water department, we hired a part-time cashier, and she is a Broadview resident. So we're really excited about that because she gets to see the other side. So normally people, when they come into the village hall, they just assume that nothing is going on, but she's been here a complete 2 weeks, and she said this is mind-boggling to her. So we welcome her into our department, into our village, and we just want to say thank you, Mayor, and also trustees for allowing this to happen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Clerk.
Okay, thank you. Next is item 8, old business. We have none. Bringing us to item 9, new business. A, proclamation designating September 15th through October 15th as National Hispanic Heritage Month. Madam President.
Yes, so as you can tell, we are a very diverse board here. We have a Hispanic Latino woman, trustee Child Malavi, and we've had several discussions for over a year regarding Hispanic Heritage Month and what we wanted to do for the community. So I thought it was important that we have representation of what that looked like about when we talk about culture. And one thing that I know for sure and for certain, I like my culture. I love being Black. I love being a Black woman. I love the people that surround it, but I'm also very passionate about representation and what that looks like for other races and other cultures. And we want to be embracing because we are changing in Broadview, and we have to honor and respect the cultures that come to our community. So I put together a proclamation designating September 15th through October 15th, National Hispanic Heritage Month. And we're also partnered with the Broadview Park District to put a small event together for this year. And so we're going to honor that. Trustee Child Malabi is kind of chairing that and getting behind that initiative because, like I said, I know how to celebrate African Americans. I know how to celebrate us, but I don't know how to celebrate other cultures. So she's playing a key role to make sure that we have every tool that we need to not be offensive to anyone, but to bring the community together, to love on one another, even in our differences. And Claudia, I mean, she's just like a superstar in her own rights. She helps me a lot with translation. She helps me a lot with ideas and thoughts. And when I brought it to her, and I know Trustee Child Malabi asked if we could do a proclamation. So I just want to say thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your friendship. And thank you for just leading the way in Cook County's Women Initiative that you do for the 16th District. So I'm grateful for that partnership. So I'm going to read the proclamation. And the proclamation reads, where in September of 1968, President Lyndon Johnson signed Public Law 90-498, authorizing the president to designate the week of September 15th as National Hispanic Heritage Week in recognition of anniversaries of the first Latin American countries to declare their independence. And whereas with the approval of Public Law 100-402 in 1988, President Ronald Reagan proclaimed September 15th through October 15th as a National Hispanic Heritage Month. And whereas September 15th was chosen as the starting point for celebration because it is the anniversary of independence of 5 Latin American countries, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. Mexico, Chile celebrate their Independence Days on September 16th and September 18th, respectively. And whereas Hispanics and Latinos of every generation represent an array of distinct and vibrant cultures and have made immense contribution to the defense of freedom at home and abroad through courageous service in the United States military, the arts, education, mathematics, science, literature, technology, athletics, and philanthropy in the country, in the world. And whereas Hispanic and Latinos have played a pivotal role in our village strength and prosperity. Their spirit, energy, and leadership are woven into the culture of Broadview, with many of our current public officials, administrators, educational, and village leaders being of Hispanic heritage and descent. And whereas the Hispanic American population has grown by 1.2% in Cook County, making it the fourth highest county in the nation with Hispanic population. Hispanics have a profound and positive influence in Cook County through their strong commitment to family, faith, hard work, and service. They have enhanced and shaped our national character with centuries of old tradition and reflect the multi-ethnic and multicultural customs of their community. And whereas I, desirous of promoting the general welfare of the village residents, visitors, and business, continue to create an environment in which all of our Broadview residents have the opportunity to achieve the American dream, a love of liberty and justice, and a belief that a better life should await anyone willing to work for it. And whereas in recent years, the term Latinx has begun to be used instead of Hispanic or Latino to represent the identities of non-binary, gender non-conforming, and gender expansive people. Latinx also includes the lives of indigenous, Brazilian, and other non-Spanish speaking people in this celebration. And now, therefore, I, Katrina Thompson, do hereby attest my full support proclaiming September 15th through October 15th, National Hispanic Heritage Month, and I encourage all citizens to celebrate the colorful cultures, rich histories, and diversity of American Hispanics in or Latinx community. Enter upon the records of the Village of Broadview this 19th day of September 2022. So we're going to have an event coming up at the Park District. I think we had a conflict with the Park District, so we'll get some information out on what day we're going to celebrate, but we're going to do it in October, and then we'll plan like what between those dates, like September through October 15th, what those dates look like so that we can be consistent every year so we can anticipate where we're going to what weekend we're going to celebrate so that we don't have a conflict, so that we have the space for the Park District. But I'm really excited about embracing our brothers and sisters of the Latinx and Hispanic cultures. It just means a lot to me. And when you love people, you don't care where they come from. You just love people and you just want them to be able to celebrate their cultures, because most certainly we're going to celebrate our culture in Broadview. So we embrace it, we're inclusive, not exclusive. So thank you, Claudia, for just supporting me and helping me with this proclamation. I appreciate that. Okay, Mr. Clerk.
Thank you, Madam President. Next, item B, a resolution authorizing and approving an intergovernmental agreement between the Village of Broadview and the County of Cook regarding the grant of transportation funds through the Invest in Cook County program to be used for preliminary engineering costs for the Roosevelt Road Streetscape project for the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Motion to approve.
A second.
It's been properly motioned by Trustee Senior, seconded by Trustee Shelby. Madam President.
So as you all are aware, maybe over a month ago, we were awarded $120,000 for the Invest in Cook through Cook County. And this is Cook County Department of Highways and Transportation. This is so that we can start on the Roosevelt Road corridor, the refacing of what that looked like for sidewalks and streets. Director Ames, you want to tell us more about this IGA? And you might as well stay up here because a lot of the line item stuff is your department.
Mayor, I think you summarized basically what it is in a nutshell. So it is a grant that the village was awarded, and we're going to use the funds for the preliminary engineering in hopes that we will be shovel ready as we make our ITEP construction grant application here in a couple weeks.
Thank you, Trustee Miller.
So I saw something in the legislation about an approximate cost of $150,000. How ideal is that toward preliminary costs?
Well, the total cost is 150. Cook County is advancing us or granting us 120,000. Typically, most projects is an 80-20 match. So those sponsoring agencies want to make sure or know that you have equity stake in the game. So it might be a 50-50 grant. And we're fortunate that at least the grants that we've applied for and been awarded has been an 80-20 split. So this is, in essence, an 80-20 split. So they're going to pay for 80% of the preliminary engineering, and we're responsible for the other 20%.
Yeah, I understand the breakdown, but I'm just making sure that the estimate is actually something that is considered just about true.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Trustee Armor?
And when it's a grant, we don't have to pay that, right?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
That's it. Trustee Shelby?
No questions.
Trustee Senior?
No question.
Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Trustee Abraham and Chalmalabi are absent. Trustee Senior,
Yes.
Trustee Shelby,
Yes.
Trustee Armor,
Okay, yes.
Trustee Miller,
Yes.
and Madam President, this carries 4-0. Thank you all. Next item, C, a resolution authorizing and approving an intergovernmental agreement by and between the Village of Broadview and the State of Illinois, acting by and through its Department of Transportation related to cost sharing for certain traffic control signals and devices in the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by Trustee Senior, seconded by Trustee Miller. Madam President?
So this total amount is $54,600, and it's for energy costs for traffic control devices located on the state highways within or near the governmental body as that's shown in Exhibit A. So that's on the Roosevelt Road corridor at 17th, I believe.
Mayor, that would be on Roosevelt Road, 25th Avenue, and Cermak
Okay.
Road. So we are responsible for entering to an intergovernmental agreement with IDOT. And the purpose is to make sure that we are contributing to the cost of traffic control here in the Village of Broadview. So when a traffic control light is knocked down, IDOT, in essence, dispatches a crew to restore it. And of course, our contributions are minimal from what I know. So
Thank you, Trustee Miller.
No question.
Trustee Armor?
What happens if if something like that were to happen and it's more than what they would give us? I mean, do we have a contingency fund in our budget to plan for these kinds of contingencies?
well, that's the whole purpose, Trustee Arm, of entering into the IGA, is that IDOT, in essence, says that they take the responsibility for, again, the operations for it. Our contributions are minimal in that over the last 3 years, we've probably had a half a dozen of these traffic signals knocked down, mainly at Roosevelt and 17th Avenue. I know on Cermak in 17th. And to have us incur the cost on an individual basis would probably be about $4,000 to $5,000, depending on the damage done to the traffic control. So I think that 57 or 54,000 or whatever the village is obligated to over 5 years most certainly pays for itself. But so we don't necessarily have to have a contingency fund as it relates to this portion. So.
Any other questions or comments for Director Ames?
Yes. So this is the state that would be funding, that would be covering 50%, you said 50% of the cost?
No, it's our,
Is it the federal or state government?
this is state, this is IDOT.
And it's not like we'll have to pay them back. It's not like a loan or a line of credit or anything like that.
Nothing like that.
Okay, no further questions.
Thank you, Trustee. Trustee Shelby?
No questions.
Trustee Senior?
No questions. The explanation was crystal clear.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Trustees Abraham and Chalmalave are absent. Trustee Senior,
Yes.
Trustee Shelby,
Yes.
Trustee Armor,
Sure.
Trustee Miller.
Yes.
Madam President, this carries 4-0. Thank you
So
all.
for a point of clarity, is that sure a yes vote?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks for the clarity, Madam President. Next, item D, a resolution authorizing the submission of the 2022 Illinois Transportation Enhancement Program, ITEP, application, and the expenditure of local matching funds in connection with the ITEP project for the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by trustee Senior, seconded by trustee Miller. Madam President.
Thank you. So this goes back to the grants through Invest in Cook program that we got awarded for the preliminary engineering costs. And this will help, this application, we have to approve the application for the enhancement of the application for the local matching funds, which is 80%. This is a federal application. So you want to tell us about that, Director Ames?
Well, yeah, it is, Mayor. This grant application is specific to Roosevelt Road and 17th Avenue down to 9th Avenue. So the intent is to obviously reconfigure the corridor to match what's west of 17th Avenue with bump outs, new updated lighting, street fixtures, and furniture and some other things. This resolution is required as part of the application. So the application package includes data, impact comments, narratives, support letters, and some other things. And this is one of the checklist items that's required for the complete submission of this ITEP application. So I believe it's due actually here in another week. So I believe it is due in another week. We plan to make the application submission once this resolution hopefully is passed tonight.
Thank you, Trustee Miller.
So 17th down to 9th Avenue on certain streets is partially another community. How will this affect 9th to 12th being at the north side of Roosevelt is Maywood?
This is only Broadview, so
Okay.
within our corporate limits.
Okay.
So it'll be Roosevelt Road, to your point, south side to 9th Avenue, north side, 13th to 17th.
Okay, thank you.
Trustee Armor?
So items B, C, and D are all relative and they all correlate. And we need to be able to have all these three pieces before we can even do D. Am I understanding that correctly?
Not exactly, trustee. C has absolutely nothing to do with this grant application.
B and D relates though.
Yes, indirectly, yes.
Thank you.
That's it. Thank you. Trustee Shelby?
No questions.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Trustees Abraham and Chalmalave are absent. Trustee Senior,
Yes.
trustee Shelby,
Yes.
trustee Armor,
Yes.
trustee Miller.
Yes.
Thank you all. Madam President, this carries 4-0. Next, item E. A motion to approve the request for qualifications for certain demolition services for 2412 South 9th Avenue, Broadview, Illinois.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Who was the first, was the motion by? Oh, sorry. Motion by trustee Miller, seconded by trustee Senior. Madam President.
Thank you. So this is for a demo. So it's a building that the village owned. We acquired it from Cook County Land Bank.
No, I'm sorry, Mayor. No, we acquired it on our own.
Okay, so, and the building is right there in the 2400 block?
2412 South 9th Avenue.
9th Avenue, and it needs to come down because what's happening in the residents that live in between this space is harboring raccoons. The fence is not securely fastened. You know, we have kids that ride bikes. If somebody is homeless, may pick a spot to, hibernate in that space, and we cannot allow that. Our first obligation as legislators is the public safety and making sure that Broadview is safe and that we can, take care of, remediate any indeficiency items that we may have, like wildlife or someone that may need a place to stay and they can jump the fence. So we need to secure it and bring that building down so that it's safe for everyone in the village of Broadview. So Commissioner Upshaw, you want to tell us about the demolition RFQ?
Yes. As the mayor stated, this is a RFQ for the demolition of 2412 South 9th Avenue. That building was private owned. The village, it was a nuisance, and it has been vacant probably for the last 10 or 12 years. And the village acquired the building 2 years ago, and we've moved forward to secure the building. We've had several complaints, and right now we're in a position to get the building demoed, and that's what the RFQ is for.
Thank you. Trustee Miller?
So just for clarity, I don't know if everyone's been down 9th Avenue, but yeah, I've seen it, and that property is actually like a commercial looking property. I would think that, and I guess everybody knows our village is broken up into smaller communities, right? So I lived in a Hollywood, I don't know why it was called Hollywood, but I lived in the Hollywood district or area or whatever. And that was like one of the properties that it's two of them over there. And I'm literally like, why are they still here and haven't been kind of remodeled or revamped? So if you get a chance, I would encourage any resident that hasn't seen it so that you'll know why I was proud of the recommendation to demo it. And I'm not really proud of a whole bunch of recommendations for demoing property. But if you can confirm how many other demo projects we've ever had since you've been a part of the village, and what's the average, what's, if we've had any, how long does it normally take for a demo to actually be completed?
So during my tenure, we've had actually 2 demo projects, and one was the senior housing. So in terms of each specific demolition project in the village of Broadview is different. It may be owned by a private entity, it may be owned by the Cook County Land Bank, or it may be an abandoned property that we don't know who owns it for a number of reasons, back taxes or whatever. And so the mayor, once she came into office, directed me to create a list and to go after those abandoned and nuisance properties. And that is what this is. In terms of the average, each project is different.
Yeah, I guess that was a little loaded for you, huh?
It was.
Can I talk to you after? We'll talk to you after. But outside of that, I think that pretty much summarized it. But I just want to encourage everybody to just drive past so you'll kind of know where the property is.
Thank you. Trustee Armour?
Okay, so how much do we have in our budget to be able to do the demolition? And I know there's a process that the service providers will have to go through. I understand that, but how much did we plan for?
So initially, as it relates to demo as well as any abatement, it was $100,000. But as the mayor stated earlier, along with Director Tim Hicks in the finance department, we had discussions as it relate to receiving the potential ARPA funds. And as it relates to the building department, that was one of my suggestions, was the demolition of properties. And this specific property was on that list, or my recommendation to the mayor and to the finance department.
Okay, so the ARPA funds is going to cover the cost of this. So the ARPA funds are going to cover the cost of this. Is that what you're saying?
It was recommended that we use ARPA funds. I have to take a look at that once we get everything in place. I have to speak to the finance director and the mayor just to confirm that, but yes.
Okay, thank you.
Trustee
That's
Shelby?
it.
That was the question that I had, so thank you. I have no questions.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Thank you, Commissioner Upshaw. Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call vote?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Trustees Abraham and Chalmalave are absent. Trustee Senior,
Yes.
Trustee Shelby,
Yes.
Trustee Armour,
Yep.
Trustee Miller.
Yes.
This carries 4-0, Mayor. Thank you all. Next, item 10, application for the authority to expend funds totaling $31,479.61. We're going to break this into two separate POs. The first is for Keystone Ridge Designs in the amount of $21,007.50 for Public Works. Need a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Can you please speak up what was said?
Second,
Okay,
sorry.
thank you. It's been properly motioned by trustee Senior, seconded by trustee Armour. Madam President, open
That
for
was not
discussion.
me.
Shelby.
I'm sorry, Shelby. I looked right at
Okay.
you and said it.
Director Ames, can you tell us about the Keystone Ridge Designs?
It is. That's for fixtures and furnitures up and down Roosevelt Road. And it's coming out of the TIF fund, which is a qualifying fund for these expenditures.
Thank you, trustee Miller.
No questions.
Thank you, trustee Armour.
No questions.
Thank you, trustee Shelby.
Yeah, the designs. What kind of designs?
We're keeping it consistent with what we already have there in terms of the garbage cans, the benches,
Okay,
so light fixtures. So
thank you.
Thank you, trustee Senior.
No questions.
Thank you. Can we get a roll call vote, Mr. Clerk?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Trustees Abraham and Chalmalabi are absent. Trustee Senior,
Yes.
trustee Shelby,
Yes.
trustee Armour,
Yes.
trustee Miller,
Yes.
and this carries 4-0. Thank you all. Next is for train in the amount of $10,472.11, also for Public Works. Need a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by trustee Senior, seconded by trustee Shelby, Madam President.
Thank you, Director Ames. Can you tell us about this purchase order from Train?
Train is a maintenance agreement, obviously, for the new mechanical system that we have installed. It is train equipment up there, and this is to make sure that train technicians are accessible and available to service these things at least twice a year. Public Works, in the meantime, will assist with some of the low-level events like swapping out filters, belts, making sure that the coils are clean. But this is for more of the technical components that goes into maintaining a cooling and heating system with a facility this size.
Thank you, trustee Miller.
So it's $10,000 for a year of services?
It is.
Okay, thank you.
Trustee Armour.
No questions.
Trustee Shelby.
No questions.
Trustee Senior.
No questions.
Thank you. Can I get a roll call vote, please?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Trustees Abraham and Chalmalabi are absent. Trustee Senior,
Yes.
trustee Shelby,
Yes.
trustee Armour,
Yes.
trustee Miller,
Yes.
and this carries 4-0. Thank you all. Next.
No closed session.
All right, next on the agenda is item 11, closed session. We have none tonight. Bringing us to item 12, village clerk report. I have no report. Item 13, village president, Mayor Katrina Thompson.
Thank you. So good evening, Board of Trustees, clerk, and the residents. I do want to say a couple of things before I address public comment. We did talk about Hispanic Heritage Month, which will be celebrated in October. Stay tuned for the dates. Just stay tuned for website, social media, email blast. We'll get that information out to the community. Also, we are doing our third annual Tour Day Proviso, which is an annual bike ride that we do the first Saturday in October. It's our third one. Right now, we do know that we have over 400 riders that have registered to ride with us that day. And this year is going to take place in the village of Riverside. So this came about while we was in the pandemic. And most people know that I ride my bike every Saturday. And we decided to start riding, and it took to another level that I didn't anticipate. And so trustee Miguel Jones, Village of Maywood, he and I ride, and he thought it would be, what about tour, like doing a tour of the community. So this give us leverage when we talk about tourism. How do we get people to come to our community to utilize our services, whether it's a hotel or a restaurant or just patronizing the, whatever local shops that we have. And this year is going to be hosted in the village of Riverside. Mayor Joe Ballerine, he's a newly elected mayor, and he decided to jump on board. So I'm glad that he did, because it opened up for us to, when we advocating for funds at a federal or state level, safe bike lanes, transportation, health and wellness, health and transportation. So all of the things that we need is inclusive to this. So I'm really excited what's taking place. And Visit Oak Park, which is our tourism board bureau for the region, has taken the reins so that they are, doing a lot of marketing and stuff like that, because the past 2 years it's always come from either me doing it, and I just don't have the manpower or the time to really do a really good job. And we want this to be something that's a legacy for the Proviso Township. Saturday, September 24th, between 9 a.m. and 12, Comaric School is hosting open house. The school is completed in the renovation, so I'm encouraging the trustees to go over to Riverside and the clerk to see their newly renovated building that they've done. And I'm really excited about that, because I don't know if anyone has ever been in that school, but the school was aging, outdated. They didn't even have safe passage for those that's wheelchair bound. So it would take a student to get from one side of the building literally 8 minutes to get from point A to B, and that's taking away instructional time from the student. And so the first time they ran the referendum failed, and we decided to get on board. So Senator Duckworth kind of helped us along to get some federal dollars, because they do service families that's military families that's over there. And we need to make sure that the federal dollars, because they don't pay taxes, it's an impact to us. So they did come through for the school, and they doing an open house on Saturday so the community can go see the work that's been done. So I'm encouraging all of the residents in Broadview to go over to Comaric School to, to see the new facility.
What time, Mayor?
It's from 9 a.m. to 12. We are participating in a program, how to support its older adult residents as they age in our community. We have a survey that's out. It's on our website. It's been on social media. We sent the email blast. So this is important for all of us, and it's for all ages, because guess what? As long as God have your eyes open, you aging. And so we want you to participate in the survey so that so that you can give us some ideas on what services we should be looking for, how can we support our aging community, and we're going to do a couple of town halls. So this is in partnership with the Village of Bellwood. So we co-partnered on this through the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus. So we're going to have some community meetings here, and we're going to have some in Bellwood, but I'm encouraging the Broadview residents to come out to give us input. We have consultants, and this is no charge to us, but the consultants has come. We have a core team that have bi-weekly meetings, I believe, as we get toward these days. So the goal is to have this report done by the end of the year that we all can take advantage of. We are also participating in a water affordability plan. And so Trustee Andrea Senior, who's our chair for the Water, Health, and Drainage, she's on that committee. And we've been working with Elevate, the Metropolitan Planning Council, to get this plan on, like, how do we impact water rates and where it comes from. So our water customers, and we're talking about the residents now, are we losing water? What has been the impact when we talk about how water rates increase? It's not something that we increase, but as the city of Chicago increased the water, we have to increase the water. And sometimes residents think that we're doing it intentionally, but it's not us. We buy our water from Chicago. So we just want to be real intentional on how it looks when we talk about water rate increase. And so we look at our surrounding towns and where their water rates are, and we are one of the lowest. Even with the increase that we did 5 years ago, we are still one of the lowest water rate customers in the Proviso Township. But we still have to stay focused on the vision and be transparent with the public on what that looked like in the future. And we do know Chicago raised their rates again. So when they raised their rates, we've already done that. So we can't come back to the water customers and say, well, Chicago raised their rates and we're gonna raise your rates. We locked in our rates, but it's still an impact because we have to protect our infrastructure, because we have infrastructure that's over 100 years old. And when water mains break, all of this takes an impact to all of us. So we are working intentionally to know what it is that we're looking at and what that looks like for the future. We did talk, Trustee Miller did talk about the Fire and Police Committee meeting that she's hosting on September 27th. Last week, the Board of Trustees and myself attended the IML conference down in downtown Chicago. The conference is really about educating, informing, because we have a lot of laws that's being passed, and we have to be engaged in what's best for Broadview, because it's a lot. And when IML, it's a statewide agency. And I have the opportunity to be a vice president on that board. So I'm excited about the conference that took place. I thought it was engaging, it was enlightening, and I hope the trustees felt the same thing with some of the sessions that they participated in. But it also gives the trustees an opportunity to talk to other elected officials and what they're doing in their communities and how we could either, make a change or some recommendations to the village of Broadview. So I hope that, you guys had a good conference this past weekend. IML does a really good job to execute an excellent plan. I do want to congratulate my colleague, my sister mayor, Kathy Aducci of Riverside, who is now the president of IML. So congratulations, President Aducci. The Broadview Senior Apartment waitlist is open for 1 and 2 bedrooms. Please visit their website, www.broadviewsenior.com, or visit Village Hall for the application. We'll have hard copies, but they have a process. The Broadview Fire Department, the chief didn't mention this, but the Broadview Fire Department is testing. The test is coming up. Chief, do you know what date?
September 29th is the applications are due. You want to get on the microphone?
Yeah, can you please?
Can you repeat the website again, please, Mayor?
It's the website for the Broadview Senior?
Yeah.
It's Broadview Senior, www.broadviewsenior.com. You're welcome.
So the applications are available. You can go to theblueline.com to find that, as well as copsandfiretesting.com. The applications are due on September 29th, and the test will be at the morning of October 15th at 8 a.m. And you can be in paramedic school to take this exam. That's an important thing to know, as well as the CPAT. The physical exam is not due until upon hire. So there's opportunities to get in.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Just be mindful that school is in session and we have students that ride the school bus. So Illinois law states that it is illegal to pass a school bus with the stop sign arm in red lights flashing that is stopped to pick up students or discharge riders. It is important to remember that this law applies to all locations. What this means is that you can be ticketed for committing this violation in a parking lot as well as the roadway. We have some folks in their vehicles during school hours where the students are being picked up or dropped off at their designated bus stops within the village of Broadview, and drivers are going around the school buses. It is illegal to do that. You can actually get your license suspended. It's not us suspending the license, but the Broadview Police Department has been, monitoring that situation, and they will take all action if you are a violator. We must keep our students safe. We must, and that's our responsibility to do that. So just know that this is happening. Also, for those who block the sidewalk, be aware that the Village of Broadview Ordinance 8-2-9 Prohibit Act in conditions B1 states it should be unlawful for any person to obstruct any manner, any street, alley, or sidewalk. Those in violation can be issued citations for $50. I've had conversations with the Broadview Police Department, and they will give you a citation for blocking the sidewalk. We have children that walk to school that have to go around the car and walk in the street because they can't have safe passage. We have invested in our sidewalks $200,000 just so that they can have safe passage, and people are violating that. So now that it's on our radar, we've gotten several complaints about it, and now it's time for us to put the action into place. So the Chief Mills and his team are well aware of what's to take place, and we are holding them accountable to making sure that we enforce that code. Now for public comment. Ms. Hasagawa, so you have concerns about some trees being removed, some dead trees? So hold it, I have the floor. So I'm just going by off of what you had stated. And so I have your address on file, and I will instruct Public Works to go over there to give me a report on what's taking place, and I will follow up with you with the number that's on the public request form. As it relates to the streets and the streets that you listed, we have a program in place how we look at the conditions of the road, and we get expert advice like our engineers to give us input on like the worst condition of the roads. When I first got into office, we put a plan together to say, these are the roads that we need to fix, and we base it off our budget for that fiscal year. So as we go through this process, I don't know where we are in the process, and I'm circling, but I'm having conversations with all of the department heads on different things as it related to the plan 5 years ago, and where we need to take off things that we've completed and where we are with the future. So we will address that when we get to that, and we'll make that public knowledge so that you're informed on what streets need to be done. When I have that discussion with the department heads, I'm sorry, ma'am, I don't address. I have the floor. Thank you. Now, for Verena Horn. So I am aware of the cultivation and the municipal and recreational. So in the state of Illinois, medical cannabis and recreational cannabis are two different legal categories of the same substance. Medical cannabis requires a doctor recommendation. Recreational cannabis is available to anyone aged 21 or over. People use both medical cannabis and recreational cannabis for a wide variety of reasons. So we are aware, I appreciate you saying that there's counselors that can come on board, but we are aware of the law as it relates to medicinal and recreational cannabis. We do have recreational cannabis coming on the Roosevelt Road corridor. We also have a cultivation site that's going to be coming up online. But I do want to say this before I conclude my president comment. It's an election year for the Board of Trustees, and we've been talking about recreational cannabis for probably over 4 years. And so now people come to bring their platforms to this village board to grandstand. And I understand that it may be a concern, but that had not been a concern prior to the upcoming election. So with that being said, just be mindful of the people that's putting, saying, things what this village board is doing. We've been very honest. We've been very transparent. We've had several community meetings regarding cannabis. We don't have any secrets here, but what we won't allow is for people to become a nuisance to this village board for their own personal gain. So if there's nothing else, we don't have closed session. Thank you and have a good night. I'll call for a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Hold on a second. I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I need a second.
Second.
Been properly motioned by trustee Miller, seconded by trustee Armour to adjourn the meeting. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Hearing no opposition, this meeting is hereby adjourned at 8:52 p.m. Thank you. Have a good evening.